Pilsung. Hello everyone, and welcome to another part of our discussion on Tonfa. This is kind of a practice session. What would you do to get ready or to start basic practice with your Tonfa? We're going to go through some general things, but just basically a pattern of what a class of practice might look like. So you'll notice I have my Tonfa in my belt. Not the most comfortable way to hold them, but so I don't have to move around on the camera. I'm going to put them here for right now. But what I want you to start doing is just working on your wrist flexibility. It looks kind of weird, but try to roll that wrist one direction and then the other. One thing I've noticed with picking up the Tonfa again, maybe it's because I'm getting older from the last time I worked with them a lot, but my wrists get really sore. So just try to warm your wrist up, and then you can even adapt that into your elbows, just to try to warm your arms up a little bit. It's not overly necessary to do it for a long time, but it will help you try to get some flexibility. Once you're to that point, we want to start the next step of class with that grip strength exercise. So you're going to hold both Tonfa up. You're going to start in the middle, pull the bottom two fingers tight, pull that Tonfa against your arm. So you want to pull it nice and tight, and then you're going to bring it out, outside, back to the center, inside, back to the center, outside, back to the center, inside, back to the center. Since we usually use a count of 4, I would say do that 3 times, so a total of 12. So you're going to do hana this way, outside, inside, that's 1. Okay? So do that 3 or 4 different sets. Make sure you get a good exercise on your arms, but don't go so far that you're sore and you can't enjoy the rest of practice. So we're going to step into a right front stance now. We're going to talk about blocking. The blocking that I want you to do is just like we would do in class. I want you to, from open hand class rather, start from a right front stance. You're going to do an outward block, turn your body, pivot that front foot, get your body out of the way, block out in front of you, and make sure you pull that Tonfa to a direction where the handle cannot hit you. So this way. So we're going to do hana, it would be here, dual, here, set, here, net. Okay? We're going to do the same thing with an inward block. So it's going to be hana, dual, set, net. Okay? Real straightforward. You're going to do the right side, and you will switch and get to do the left side. And then for a lower block, same thing. We're just going to do hana, here, dual, here, set, net. Just kind of push it down. Make sure you're doing that pivot, get your body out of the way, push it to the outside so you're out of the field of danger of getting struck. So just something to think about. Again, when you go to your left side, it's hana, dual, set, net, hana, dual, set, net, hana, dual, set, net. Just the regular blocking so that you're comfortable and you are in control of where your hands and the Tonfa are when you're doing blocks. Some other blocks you can do a little bit more dangerous, a little bit more specialized, might be a double forearm block. But I want you to notice on this, if I do a double forearm block, I am not putting my hands together because I don't want to get hit with the handle. So when I do a double forearm block, I'm still going to use my shoulders. I'm still going to push for a stop, but I'm going to do it out in front of me so that the handles are on both sides of my head. I don't have to worry about getting hit. So try that one several times. Sets of 3 or 4 through our normal 4 count is a good way to do it. There's other things you can do. You can do a double downward block, same way you would do with your hands. Here, here, lots of options of what you can do for blocking. So go through the normal open hand blocking techniques that you can do. Add a couple others. Of course, in another video, you'll see a sweeping low block, which basically comes around and down. We'll get there. It's a little bit more advanced. And we talked the other day about the crane block, which basically is up over your head and then down with an extended strike back, okay? So those blocks should be done in a normal class session. When we start talking about strikes, I want to go through the normal strikes. So you're going to be in your right front stance. You're going to start with a round punch, just like, let's start with the inward, sorry. Inward punch, just like you would in class. You're going to twist your hips, strike inward, just like you're punching in class. Nice round movements, Make sure you take your offhand, guard your head, but be careful where you put that handle, okay? So you're just gonna go, hana, do, set, net. Again, do that 3 or 4 times, warm that side up. We're gonna go through all the right side and then we'll switch to the left side. Then we're gonna do a round punch. Again, it's just like you would do with an open hand. Hana, do, set, net, and then a vertical round a little bit further away. Hana, do, set, net. Again, make sure you keep this up. Then an upward punch. Hana, do, set, net. Now you'll notice in the upward, I'm turning my hand sideways, not this way. If something goes wrong and it gets pushed back again, I don't want that handle hitting me in the face. So I'm going to turn and come straight up this way. Okay, remember this is a close range punch. Follow through all the way up. Again, block the side of your head. Then we're going to do elbows. So you're going to do an upward elbow. Hana, do, set, net, and then a downward elbow. Hana, do, set, net. Then when you get comfortable with that, you do the other side, and that's the basic strikes. We're also going to practice some strikes that are a little bit more specialized when we get further along. As part of our pattern, you'll see an outside downward strike. It's basically just a downward strike. We also have an upward strike, which is a little bit more complicated. So you can come this way, you can come this way, you can come around and come up. Those strikes we'll talk a little bit more as we get more advanced. So that's kind of a basic warm up or the start of a class when you're wondering what types of blocks and strikes do we need to do to start our class or to start our practice if I'm doing it by myself. Just practice like you would in an open hand class. Start on your right side, do 3 or 4 sets of each, go to your left side, 3 or 4 sets of each. When you get tired, rest, shake your arms out, and then start over. Or do some of the other practice. You know, the other video that you're going to see is going to talk about figure eights. Practice those a little bit. When your hands get tired, when your grip gets loose, stop and take a break because you'll start dropping the tonfa, you'll get frustrated, and it won't be as beneficial of a practice section if it ends on a bad note. So practice, 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 and the time that we're going to get together is coming up pretty soon. And so try to get ready for that. It's at the end of March. I will say that practice does not make perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect. So take your time. Be nice and slow. Be intentional about what you're doing, and you'll get better by leaps and bounds. You'll be surprised. Thanks for your time. Pilsner.